Vi. Those aren't... Jhin is definitely not a hyper carry. Okay, well...
I mean, there's no true tank, but Leona is kind of a true tank at the end of the game. Like,
exactly. So Jhin has a lot of playmaking, and FlyQuest do have a lot of playmaking. They don't have a lot of damage for super later for the early game. So CFO, they're going to have the extra pushing power of the grubs for these turret plates. We'll see how much extra money this does result in the early game especially. And if FlyQuest focus on the dragon stacking will pay off. Of course, this FlyQuest, squad.
As Inspired is going to wrap his way around. Looks like CFO are going to get off this dragon as Teleport is going to bring Bwipo in. Junja actually just going to waste no time, flashes away, but Bwipo might be able to get on top of him. The ulti not going to work out because Bwipo ate the CC, and that is first blood. Over to Inspired here, FlyQuest on the board. As the turret plates fall, a 14-minute first blood is not exactly the earliest, but the fact that they get a second Drake is huge.
They could teleport Quad to go answer the top wave as well. If they don't want to drop the top wave, send the Taliyah over there.
There's the flash out. Curtain call comes on in as, Master's just going to be able to pick that one up. And those two dragons, man, like everything is coming up FlyQuest here in this game so far as Quad might be the first sign of it not quite working out. As despite the flash, Honku still able to pick him up. The redemption comes down as well, as we do see picture-in-picture that it should still be this Rift Herald going down. So they will be able to collect that one, and that is also going to be some feats of strength almost gotten towards as well, as Busio could be in trouble. Level 7 here, so he does have the Unbreakable Will, but he is still taking a lot of damage. These Sand Soldiers, man, they are really hurting. Not quite enough to get the kill onto the cow through the ulti.
Really good early flash from Honku. Preemptively flashes to gain the...
Two turrets immediately?
Yeah, they take that one down. Topside's going to go to Honku as well. But really good early flash from him to create the play. And Quad still flashing and dying is really going
like
to...
baby's first book, you know? Like it's not quite the fiendish codex. It's okay. Driver could be in a little bit of trouble here as Quad throws a whole bunch of rocks into his back. The seismic shove connects. And I think Quad wanted to let us know that the book's pretty good, actually. It's not too bad.
Yeah, and he rides that one all the way to the pick. CFO, though, with 4 people, they're also going to answer with the last remaining outer turret that FlyQuest had standing.
Yeah. And Doggo is, of course, Valkyrieing forward into Busio as the slow test his dragon.
I think that one is gone. That is an oyster dragon.
What does an oyster dragon look like? Oh, like a mountain drake. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Very
you just
similar.
told me what it was. He hasn't bought in quite some time. Is okay. Driver back in lane, maybe back in trouble again as Bwipo. We're going to try and take him down. There's the all out. See whether Driver can actually survive this one. Deadly Flourish will be avoided. There's the curtain call as Driver desperately trying to get out of here. But I don't think he's going to be able to do so. The last bullet doesn't connect, but Bwipo does have a Q. Manages to take that one down. Meanwhile, things are very, very dark on this map right now. Busio is going to rotate his way down. CFO have all the information they need. This is just gone. And you were talking about the great experience crisis of the early game of this series. That might be mitigated as Doggo does get himself over the right side of the wall. Driver desperately wanted to do the same thing, but there's a little bit of brush, and FlyQuest realized that I think their only real option here is to try and push down mid.
You can tell FlyQuest were so confused there. They had no idea where CFO were because Bwipo just teleported to his own secondary tower when he was split pushing on top side and had finished up that top tower. FlyQuest had no idea. They were completely bamboozled by that play from CFO, and then they saw... We
did manage, like, the feats of strength did go over to FlyQuest. They at least managed to lock that one in. This early setup, Masu already 50% of his health bar taken away as Doggo's rockets are really starting to hurt Quad. Wrapping around the side, doesn't have the Weaver's Wall up just yet. There's now Driver on that flank angle, checking for Inspired, who should be able to get himself in here. We'll see whether they want the turn or whether they want to get themselves the Dragon. FlyQuest moved their way in, though. Inspired biding his time to make sure he gets in at the opportune moment. Solar Flare goes entirely wide as Inspired gets his way in there. Junja having to flash his way out, though. Seismic Shove gone wide. Equalizer is down. Not doing too much, though, as we can see. As the Drake already low as well. The exhaust comes on down. Bwipo gets into that backline. Kaiwing's in a little bit of trouble. And down goes the Xin Zhao. That's going to be the Drake going over FlyQuest. Pick up this soul point, but have they found the fight? Driver still wanting to try and burn them. As Honku gets on in there. There is Bwipo looking for the angle. Emperor's Divide, though, will be his shutdown. And it's Doggo Doggo that picks up the kill. Look at these health bars. Doggo desperately wanting another Valkyrie, but he will not be able to get
FlyQuest into this early.
My god, Honky is doing so much damage to this objective. FlyQuest is going to have to make a decision. Teleport is going to come through from Whippo as they get a nice knock up onto Kaiwing. He's thrown back with the shove. Equalizer goes down though, and Quad is just dead. An overextension, as we can see, as now Junja goes in. Busio, the next one to fall, paying for his mid laner's sins, as Doggo is of course flashing forward. It's Whippo to go down one more time as he tries to all out his way to safety, but that is not going to stop CFO from taking this Baron and getting a big lead. Never mind though, it's Kaiwing that's going to go down first. Inspired collects that, but Emperor's Divide pulls him back, and they'll trade jungle for support after the end.
Kaiwing here gets stunned up and immediately deleted. So CFO are very, very, very happy with the start of this fight, and then they just missed. And so it's a level 17 Azir with a big lead. Junja though?
Yeah, Junja is in a little bit of trouble, able to flash out of the way of the seismic shove, and there's not a whole lot of damage available to take him out when his ultimate's running. As now Busio likely to just die. Driver will be slowed down, but it's Quad that's dead again! Oh, it's a disaster for FlyQuest. It's into the backline, goes Inspired, but I just don't know whether that was a great idea, as Doggo's going to be able to take him down while he's trying to ult him into the sky. And CFO, this could be them just marching up the mid lane and taking out the first inhibitor of the game.
Yeah, I think they might destroy quite a bit of the FlyQuest base here with the Baron buff still on for a long time here. They get to continue pushing in. Inhibitor down. You also see Junja pushing in on the bottom side wave, but he's going to run right past it and look for the end.
Well, we'll see whether they can do it right here, right now. There are 2 siege minions making it so difficult. The curtains have been called. I don't know whether they're for CFO. They will be able to stay alive. So FlyQuest, they do survive the push here, but CFO have broken open the base. They take an inhibitor turret. A pretty good Rebel Baron power play. We were talking about keeping your eye on that one. Yeah, that's good number.
Yeah.
Just find a spot to stand as Vi so you can kill the guy that does the damage.
This is
the pushing play.
This is solo queue. You go and get an enemy camp.
Well, this is going to be an enemy team that CFO are looking for. Busio does have the unbreakable will, and he's going to need one if they want to stay alive in this game. And oh, not just a camp, that's a crab.
I mean, Alice, people call it different things. To me, when I do that, it's a bit of rage.
Yeah.
I'm rage clearing enemy camps at that point.
Oh, rage clearing is the rage counter jungle clear.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I think just rage clearing. I'm going to use that. I'm definitely going to use that. As Doggo Valks over the wall, will be able to keep himself alive. But now the wraparound has happened. It's not only a rage clear, it might also be Driver going down, but he does spot him here. Inspired, not quite with the surprise play that he wanted, but it's the all-out to bring them underneath the turret. Junja is going to be the first one to go down, as Doggo is, of course, over the wall. Honku goes golden as the solar flare is going to interrupt that curtain call. As, my God, how did Doggo do that much damage? That was
more chaos, and so they're going to continue to do it.
Yeah, Driver could be in a whole lot of trouble. The wall comes down. I don't think this Rumble is going to survive, and he doesn't think so either as he ults the wave.
Well, let's see about the teleport out. I say just keep on fighting.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do, as Junja, once again, potentially in trouble. Does now have Honku and Kaiwing in the area. As the knockback from Buppo, there is another kidnap, like you said before, but it's going to be flashed this time. Blast Cone makes things problematic. Oh, the rocks go down. Honku, so much trouble, but still the damage is there because Doggo shows up. Massive amounts to come on through, but it's already 2 for FlyQuest. Doggo trying to survive against Buppo. He flashes over the wall and picks up a double, but Fly still able to win the fight, and it should be the Baron.
Baron is alive. It is forcing. They're definitely going to turn off the Baron, but CFO are doing a good job. They're not taking the bait here very quickly. They know it takes FlyQuest way too long to do the Baron, so they're not running into it.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall goes down. I mean, they left a control ward there, but the Equalizer is still going to do so much work as the Baron, they're still on it. The spikes are really hurting. Inspired, still lower and lower, and Doggo wanting that wraparound. Driver gets in there with the flamethrower, and there's Doggo. It is going to be the Baron secured by FlyQuest, but can they keep anyone else alive? The Emperor's Divide comes in. It's a double in the end for Doggo, and so there are a few Barons left up here for FlyQuest, but there's no people.
Yeah, there's only an Alistar and a Cassante to defend the base. CFO are going to come, and they're going to try and finish.
All right, let's see whether they can make that one happen as Honku shifts some sands to get himself towards Whippo, whose health bar is extraordinarily large. Driver Looking for the flanking Busio, and Junju's going to catch him because he's walking up mid lane to get back to his team. He's holding the wave. It's the Marin strategy yet again, but I just don't know whether it's really going. They might have been coming back to do the Dragon anyway. However, it did look a little bit, I got flashbacks, to that Maokai standing stalwart to stop the end of the game.
Yeah, it does buy them some time on both CFO carries. So they have so much power here, but FlyQuest...
Whippo going in, there's the wall as well. Quad, though, keeping himself relatively safe this time as Honkyu goes golden. Seismic shove is going to be avoided with the flash, but Whippo picks him up, but he's not going to be able to withstand the Emperor's Divide. Into the backline goes Inspired. Busio's there. They need to kill Honkyu, and down he goes. Quad's getting flashed on, though, by drivers looking to burn down Masu. Doggo's still alive as well, and the rest of CFO have dealt with the other onslaught on the other side of the fight. Down goes Inspired as Junja with full health.
Quad and Masu, it is known to CFO, and they're not going to let him get away with it.
Yeah, Doggo will be able to spot them out here. There is the Mountain Soul to come on in as Doggo. They should be able to finish this game, but I've said that before. This time feels a little bit more true.
Well,
as we're seeing as these inhibitors may not have much longer, but we'll see. This bottom one's certainly going to go down as Whippo looking like he's defending this. Wind becomes lightning, comes through. Man, that health bar on the Cassante is so massive. But these inhibs are still going to go down. The flank angle there from Inspired. He still wants to look for it as they're under Nexus turrets now. Driver wanted to see what's going on. I believe spotted him just there. The first Nexus turret going to be lying on the floor. They need to pull the trigger if they want to stop CFO from taking this. But you can see they're playing so carefully as CFO not wanting to take any undue risks as Seismic Shove will be Sonya's. And there is the Emperor's Divide as well. Honkyu keeps himself alive. They're still desperately trying to get on top of him, but it does not work. The young player is able to say no to FlyQuest and will now be able to take down the Nexus. It took a little longer than we may have expected. There's so much follow-up as well from all of like the CC that can land, right? You get an unstoppable onslaught. Supreme display of talent, Tibbers, Wave, everything comes in as Doggo's Draven. Okay. Oh no, if I'm Busio right here, I'm like, oh, Nami, Lush, this is such a powerful lane, they're gonna be great. And then you see the Gromp. This might be a little bit over-enthusiastic here by Junja.
Yeah, I mean, for Smite fights, Rock Q for Kiana is very good.
Yeah, here's the dive, 2v2, the flash forward from Doggo, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Masu, he flashes away, there's a stand aside, and there's also a kill in the mid lane. What the heck is going on? It's another one as Rest gets the feats of warfare. And that will be exactly what happens.
So they're going to sacrifice bottom side turret plate money to the Rex side then, and Junja wants to come in and use his Smite.
Well, they're looking for an angle. Supreme display of talent does come down as Junja keeping himself alive there with the ulti. The rest of CFO move over, and that is going to be all three of the grubs in the hands of FlyQuest. Nicely done. The amount of health that CFO does have.
They could do a roam from mid. Honkyu has Realm Warp. If they Realm Warp over, that could be 4 people diving FlyQuest, and they're going to do it.
Yep, the Realm Warp is going to come in. Junja looks to turn up. Honkyu, that's so much damage already. Why is this Ryze doing so much work? As Masu in so much trouble, the Pop Blossom is going to connect onto Busio. Another cash in, and it's a double for Doggo. 5 and
so he didn't have that to create the extra time for the teleport from Quad to come in. Quad's teleport gets nothing. Inspired trying to finish off the Dragon in time, but
yeah, it's a 2v2 here. Dragon and Rest against Inspired and Whippo, and it's the flash out. He's going to be dead, and I don't think you'd want to push your luck, and that's exactly what he considers as well. So that should be that first turret falling. The last plate picked up as well here by Doggo, and it's already a 2,000 gold lead. Make that about 2.2 just for the Draven alone.
All right. They're just getting turret plates all over the map at the moment.
I think it's a garage sale or something like that. All right, there's another one here, but maybe they can kill Whippo at the same time. He gets knocked up. Junja turns up as well. And now Killer is going to be put down, and the ulti comes on through for Rest. Tries to get himself out of the way. Junja was tanking the turret. Whippo is pretty tanky, so they're not going to be able to kill him. Great Bubble is going to catch the Rek'Sai as he tries to flee, and this time Busio has the They were both there as the culling is going to come on through here. Now with no turret plates, this turret is under a lot more threat And especially with a big old Draven there, they will be able to take that one down. Second turret here.
Of this region, and it's being so proud of Flash Wolves. Wait a second.
Yeah, the flash in from Inspired still gets the stun onto Honkyu, but the phase rush as he gets out of the way. Supreme display of talent is what he was looking for, but he fails to dodge it. And the shutdown, because they have a very large Draven and the will to do so. Should be this Rift Herald going down, and that is the Eye Collective. We're ready to try and get kills. Understanding the longevity of the comp isn't necessarily what they're thinking about, as that is going to be Junja, able to even out these dragons. You're in a turret. That is so much money. Over to CFO. It's a Cloud Soul this game as well. We love to see that. FlyQuest
Assisted, but it was constant pressure from the opening of the game, and that has been true for CFO as we see them take another tower here.
Yeah, it's the power identification from this team that is pretty impressive. This, not so much, as a supreme display of talent and just a cheeky Q from Inspired.
Two-item Kiana. Inspired does a lot of burst damage. He has no more ultimate now.
I've seen this movie before, the one that's happening in the top lane, so we are going, no, we are back here, and he's dead again. It's the same movie. It's on repeat. I think his Azir was absolutely phenomenal in the last game, but this Ryze has been targeted. See how he manages to cope with this, as once again, they're just running towards him. Does get stunned up as the tidal wave comes in as well. There's a great knock-up, flash out of the way from the bubble. That is still Honkyu once again under a whole lot of threat as Masu with the cleanse. As Kaiwing needs to get himself out of that situation. I don't think this Otacon is going to be an option for them as Masu dashing in. Supreme display of talent goes wide as Inspired also able to get into stealth. That will be able to keep him alive against Doggo and Rest, but you can see that CFO, the dragon that they were looking for, it was the Otacon instead, down to 50% here as Junja puts his own pillar down as they want to take out Tibbers before this fight is going to break out. But I mean, there just aren't very many people here for CFO. It'd have to be a steal as now Rest looking for that angle, trying to find the knockups here as out he goes as Doggo just takes down Quad. They're all starting to explode and now he presses W, runs forward. Masu trying to get out of there. The axe from downtown. And he gives the thumbs up as he looks to chase out Masu here. There it is. Grabs the triple. And Doggo on this Draven looking like it won't be adding to that 10 column.
The Realm Warp Nico ultimate, beautiful engage from CFO. Honkyu is able to get Kaiwing right on top of FlyQuest, and they take down every last member. Clean ace.
Oh my goodness, CFO busy trying to count them out here, and it looked like with that Rift Herald they might be able to make the play, but it wasn't the case, and CFO now move to an 8,000 goal. As well as Honkyu. Gonna try and get some revenge here as Inspired is lying in wait. Looks like Honky's not gonna be pushing too far forward. That's a lot of looking difficult to identify what the next play you should make is. As Whippo was trying to find a little bit of an angle, the pillar comes down, Tangle Barbs as well to hold him in place, but he's not exactly a priority target. Rest seems to have found Quad here, who's looking to clear out this minion wave underneath the turret to avoid that one falling down to the Rek'Sai. And CFO just moved back towards this Baron. Cheeky little ward there is actually unseen, as now the pillar is doing great work against Whippo once again. Good double knockup though, as he finds the ulti onto 2. That is going to be another Pop Blossom connecting though out of Kaiwing. He finds the double, as Whippo able to make his way up, but Doggo finds that last act. Supreme display of talent doesn't work at all, and Doggo keeps himself alive because, like you say, this guy's a tank on the Draven. Bussio's turned into fish food. It's another multi-kill here as the ace comes in for CFO, and it is clean once again.
And they are looking to finish their 2-0 and move on to quarterfinals.
And I've made a lot of ending calls about decades and things like that before. Here is another one, as CFO are gonna do it after 10 years, making it to the top 8 here at Worlds 2025 after their extraordinary year so far. It only gets better for the Oysters.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he does go. We already have seen him play Ziggs once. It was into the Azir matchup, and he did play well on it. And now, this time, going to be into the Orianna. So Azir going to fall all the way through picks and bans.
One losing to 100 Thieves, who put on a great performance, no doubts about it. But I think the expectation is that LPL #1 seed can do a little bit more as Jacula flashes forward, flag and drag onto Elk. No escape for the Yanara. We talked about a gank bot, and it's top. Dragon still a couple of minutes before we have the grubs, so Would be a slightly undermanned fight down towards the bottom side. Call of the Fort God being used. Good brittle procking here from Bin as 369 might have to invest his flash to get out of this one. Scrap shield down, 369 down to 200 HP. Bin just walking forward. Now 369 has the equalizer, gets a bit of health from the level up as well and forces Bin away. Shadow's coming in from that tri-bush. Meanwhile, a Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't quite hit as 369 is able to dodge to the side of it. On the top side, On getting caught out by top Esports. Jackie Love gets the kill. Equalizer down towards bot to clear out the wave. Shadow trying to flank 369. Elk needs to run away. 369 flashes. Jackie Love is now 700 gold ahead of Elk. And they're just going to keep forcing Elk away from this topside tower. 15 CS down, does now have his sums up, but he's only sitting BLG, not reacting to the grubs being started by top.
Yep, On is in the area. Doesn't seem to have... Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any interest in trying to contest here. BLG are just going to give it up. So Shadow just doing that red buff. Will be 3 grubs going the way of TES, but that's a pretty big win for them. You know, BLG, while they are behind, they do have some very powerful scaling options, some really strong team fights. So as long as they can stabilize, they should be okay.
Golden Forge shot down again. Bin flashing forward for the second knockup. Well played by Bin. Gets the kill down towards the bottom. Try to set up around top. The wave cleared away means that BLG will survive any possibility of a dive, and BLG are on the board.
Yeah, clean little Ornn combo there from Bin, giving no ability for 369 to react. He pops the R and then flashes forward to redirect it even closer. Elk's going.
Elk looking for it. Elk of Judgment coming out. There's the heal as well. Jackie Love still has the flash in the barrier. We'll just use one of them. And TP coming in behind. Elk still has a flash. Double TP, as you say, invested on. One more will be enough for the concussive blows. Cataclysm out. Elk flashes away from the flag and drag. On locked up in the cage as he will be chased down. A double for top. Great collapse from them to get 2 in the top.
Stay aggressive and keep pushing this pace.
Satchel charge away. Hung going forward here. On there in time with the tangle buffs. Glacial Fisher going out though, and Knight's already used the flash. Concussive blows for the stun, and top Esports find.
So now they're going to try to turn this into a dragon here. TES in the area. Knight pushes out top, and now he's going to TP mid to try to cover there.
Jackie Love has flash. Crescent Guard coming out from Shadow. Jackie Love's going to have to flash, but Bin's on the flank, and they just have to abandon him. Jackie Love charged down by the Ornn. Unbreakable out from Hung. The call of the Forge God, a prayer to the heavens. But BLG, as they begin to turn
spot in this ward, so shouldn't be any opportunity to actually steal this away. It will be the dragon. It will be the kills. And now the gold lead is essentially meaningless, right?
Fusion from the cult. First items completed across the board. Cream will scale up as Knight's caught out a little bit. Redemption being used for the extra damage. Cataclysm, Satchel out, but still the Demacian standing up from Knight. Any push is happening, and you can't push into a Ziggs because he just puts that explosive minefield down as On. Flashes forward for the double pop Blossom, and they lock up Jackie Love. Elk will get the kill. Hung's gonna fall second. BLG collapse again in the mid lane. They're setting up for the rip. You're gonna get tower as well. Satchel charge down from Knight. That tower is gone.
That's
first tower of the game for BLG. They'll get the objective, as you say. That's the feats of strength, unless Kanavi can somehow steal this, but he can't get in range for the smite. TP coming in as top Esports are looking for a little bit more of a fight, but there's going to be
On there, a bit disrespectful in the positioning, and On makes him pay. He has the flash, even able to give that kill over. Kanavi, though, he's not giving up.
369's here for the collapse. Mega Inferno Bomb coming down. Kanavi down to 500 HP. 369 looking for the Flame Spitter, but now On and Knight on their way, and there's a TP behind. 369 has to try and flash away from the explosive might be Bin in the back line. 369 put in the trash. Cream having to flash away. Jackie Love with a culling, but that
Kanavi was down there early. They're utilizing 369 multiple times to get preferential lane setups for Jackie as well, and now you're just bleeding out towers.
In the last 2 minutes, we've gone from 1,000 gold lead for top Esports to a 2K lead for BLG. Shadow here, look for the damage on the Hung with the Rift Tower charging in. There's a Drake up in 40 seconds, so they just want the pressure. Meanwhile, Cream is pushing in the top lane, but Knight is answering that with pressure down towards bottom side.
But this is just such nice map play here from BLG. Of course, Cream doing a good job trading what he can, but you do not win trades like this against Herald and Ziggs. The tower is going to die here as well. On's looking.
On pop Blossom onto 2, 369 the target, and Bin calls in the gods. Hung the next target, Unbreakable no longer. BLG find another couple.
They take the dragon, and BLG are really looking strong in this game one.
5 minutes away from an Ocean Soul. Quite a long time in these. Culling down. Bin's just going to charge his way away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cream trying to defend against 4, but he's not doing it as well as Bin can. 1-for-1 exchange. A tier 2 in mid, though. BLG will look for more as they push down the in here.
Exactly. Bin knows he's going to die, but he just wastes so much of their time. On again. Gets a wraparound here. Finds another great engage. And not only do they get 1 tower, they get 2 towers.
There's a flank from Shadow. He's all the way behind them here, Azael.
And we'll see. Shadow's looking.
Oh, it's On, actually, who's got the flank. I saw the Xin on the minimap, and On's going to find a Pop Blossom here. Top Esports, they don't know what's coming. Pop Blossom on to 4! The Call of the Forge got a eulogy for TES! As a great collapse comes out from BLG, they continue to flash forward. Cream trying to survive, and he just can't do it. The TP behind. BLG don't want to leave a man standing. Knight makes them kneel. A double for him. A perfect flank. And that's what BLG are all about.
He is not off. This man is on today. And he is on one on this Nico. How many plays have we seen started off by these beautiful Nico flanks? This one was perfection. Started by On and finished off by Knight. TP's down. The flanking.
Sundered Sky, Black Cleaver on the Jarvan. The Braum perhaps, but he's had to go Redemption because all supports do in this day and age. The Drake begun by BLG. Top Esports trying to collapse, but they don't really have the vision in here. Kanavi almost had another bouncing one. How does Kanavi get in there? Forced away by the Mega Inferno Bomb. Hung having to run away. And there is the soul, the priceless moment.
On's in behind TES with a perfect flank ready to kick off, and here he comes again.
Looking for Kanavi, gets him right on the tip of it. Kanavi with a Cataclysm will be able to survive. Call of the Forge comes out, Bin flashes for it, and claps him down. Top Esports now at a man at disadvantage. Jackie make it 2 down. BLG might just push in for the win here. And there we go. BLG will take the Baron. Expect the resets to come out here. I wonder if has to walk away from it. That tower's already forfeit. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Bing continues to push in, trying to sink these waves up. On will clear out the vision. Hung looking for that Winter's Bite. Does connect to the shockwave down, but Cream's almost dead. The bouncing bomb not quite enough to kill him off. Elk though can step back forward. Shadow diving in. Only a cannon minion here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Bin has a couple of waves to help him push this inhibitor. Bot wave still a long way away, but BLG need to wait another 10 seconds or so before they have another wave to bolster their attack on this top side.
I mean, it's a fantastic shockwave on both the carries by Cream, but they have Ocean Soul, so they're right back to full health, and Bin has already knocked down the first inhibitor. Second one is gone. It's 2 autos and a satchel, and everything is just going to die.
When do you go? When do you attack as Top Esports? Because BLG are close enough now that you can't just pick off an isolated member. They'll push him with triple cannons and now look down towards that bottom side. The inhibitor tower has already fallen, so Shadow can just start whacking away at that inhib. 10k gold, just the gold lead as Hung has to flash away just from Shadow. Mega Inferno bomb blocked with the Unbreakable. Redemption down, not in time. Even with the Fountain trying to help him out, Hung cannot survive. Cream flashes out, but it's knocked up with the Q3 from Shadow. And Equalizer down is not going to equalize this game at all. 369 gets a couple, but BLG get the base.
What a performance here from BLG, despite the early game heroics from Kanavi and Hong. They got so many early game kills, it just didn't even matter.
Huge performance from BLG coming back from that deficit. Not giving
standard hard engage, or is it going to be Enchanter trying to play for the 2v2. With Alistar there, it really does lower the priority on Rel, so instead they're going to go Poppy. So they're going to go more for the denial of the engage rather than having hard engage themselves.
Hung, and we'll be able to secure this first Drake.
Sometimes, you get fancy with it, you do what you're talking about, just go down bot to catch that wave eventually.
Yeah, and this was my thought, right? You know you have a numbers advantage, you know the Sivir doesn't have teleport, so Top Esports will get the first Drake and 3 grubs. 2 of those objective slaying feats as Shadow tries to steal one away. Maybe they'll look for Kanavi.
What shape was that?
Oh, that was, a perfect apple.
Apple?
Spheroid.
So apple is the positive fruit and pear is the negative.
Spheroid as Hung. Cease and desist onto Jackie Love. On jumps in, flashes forward for the double pulverize. Jackie Love stunned up with a trample. The keeper's verdict finds them all guilty. But really have been able to find, because Steadfast Presence exists. Unless we saw Hung use it earlier on in the lane as they were trying to push it up. His Bin's caught out, all out from 369. He just wins out the 1v1, no dominance on Bin. On now caught out a little bit, but he's going to get the knockback onto Kanavi. Has to flash away as Bolt Breaker out. Will get the CC onto that Trundle. Knight trying to put the damage in from the side, and Emperor's Divide coming out again as Shadow tries to retreat. Takes Kanavi, jumps back in with a Bolt Breaker. Cream in the middle of them, and Knight still so healthy. The Blast Cone knocks back 3 of BLG. Knight flashes the wall, and Cream is churned to butter. BLG fine too.
They juggle the health bars there so well, just using the HP as a resource. Everyone just coming in and out.
We have a bit of a swip swap from game one as Shadow looks for Cream. Cease and desist down. Knight look for the damage with that twofold Hex. Weirding out, not enough. Shadow dies to the soldiers. Just not enough from Knight to get the kill, and Cream happily accepts one. Knight now needs to run away. TP out as he knows with the pillar down, there's no more CC that can interrupt that.
A couple tower shots himself and then just gets knocked down by Cream. And now Kanavi topside. Bin could be in trouble again.
Bin might be caught out here as 369 looks for the Intofos, gets the knockback after the pillar, all out, pulls Bin back, Dominus popped, but Bin will be the one going pop as Top Esports find another 3-3 now. And BLG, they have to be defensive, they have to step back a little bit. There's the first tower, Cream steps forward, knowing there's no jungler on this side of the map, knowing that Elkanon are up towards that top side. There's the beats for Top
Gold, but the other team I think is easier to play out, in my opinion has better scaling, and is now going to be at Soul Point. And when you're playing a hard engaged comp here, you know, with this Vi, with this Aurora, and you're looking at Mountain Soul, that's one of the worst, if not to get more than just that flash, it feels like right now. We are expecting that bot lane tower to go down for sure. Elk won't be able to get this though.
On with the headbutt back to Shadow here to try and protect his Alistar, and Tofo's not going to hit with that Q3. Elk gets the mid lane tower as he trades onto Jackalope, but the spell shield doesn't block the piercing arrow. Barrier coming out from Elk. Meanwhile, Cream engaging onto Knight, who uses the weirding to try and dodge away. The dive in by 369 isn't going to be enough as On's caught down towards the bottom side. Elk able to walk away in mid. Meanwhile, Bin continues to push a tier 2 perhaps for Top Esports towards this top lane, but with a TP coming in, Knight's looking for the re-engage. Weirding onto Cream, gets the slow, gets the damage. Shadow goes between the uprights, can't hit 369 or Kanavi. Elk on the flank, spell shields, but now he's isolated. Has to flash the wall, but with an exhaust, he's clubbed around the head by Kanavi. Top
Esports to contest, they're falling behind.
Top Esports will be low. Armor magic is shredded by this Archon. 369 trying to block, weirding out, knock up onto him with the headbutt. Shadow trying to come in from the bottom side, but it looks like BLG will just give up the ghost. Archon secured by Kanavi and
playmaking ability, he could potentially get in onto Elk. They're first here to set up.
On, Steadfast Presence popped there by Hung, pillar down as well. Ong using the Unbreakable World Chain of Corruption, gonna land onto Elk as well and will lock him up on down. Elk unable to step up and help out his cow. Meanwhile, Bin's looking for the flank here as BLG, they've got 2 prongs of the Trident, but Top Esports have all 5 players left alive. Shadow forced away. The Drake begun by Top Esports. Knight trying to get in there, but can't find an avenue to approach through the brick wall that is 369. Bin going forward for Jackula. Ruthless Predator flashed away, cease and desist onto that backline as well, but the collapse from Top Esports is massive. Between worlds goes Knight, and Top Esports still managing to survive through it. They turn it around, Kanavi and 369 just diving in. Bin will get 1 in response, but only 2 left alive for BLG. Means Soul is the prize for Top Esports.
It's a good try there from BLG. As Knight is gonna hang around, he knows they can't give Soul. It's gonna be a total prayer over the wall. And it was pretty darn close to being here with Elk, but the problem is, TES I think are strong enough now with this super tanky Kasante, you can just threaten the dive. He can just take it up forever.
And that's exactly what they do. Elk has to flash away. Meanwhile, there's a TP behind them. Between world season assist all onto Jackie Love. The follower coming out from On. And BLG are looking for the fight. Kanavi still very healthy. Hung almost going down. He's gonna have to flash away. Shadow gets killed off. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Jungler for AD carry. Bin just going to run back up towards that top side. They might try and catch Kanavi as he walks across. Bin, Ruthless Predator can't get the stun, goes in. Unable to find it, chomped out by Kanavi. TP coming back here as 369 is going to join Top Esports on the push. Surprised that Elk was able to survive that. The tower helping out a lot.
But the fact that Shadow's down and the fact that Azir is still up means this Baron is up and available. If you can't dive them, force them to come to you, and that's exactly what TES are doing.
Bin doesn't have that ultimate. 369 looks for the Intofos. Hung's looking for that flank position. The Baron down to about half HP. With this Predator stun onto 369. The disengage. Cream goes in. The Emperor's Divine fights 2, but not Elk. Kanavi's going to chase him out, though. On trying to protect his AD carry, but he just can't get there in time. It's roast beef for Top Esports as they claim 2.
Full control here. 369 just kind of pushing them back, and then they decide, all right.
They love to get pulled into a skirmish from time to time. And you see that here. It's 11-6. It's a 3,000 gold lead. There's a soul for Top Esports. It's all done, but the Nexus falling. And Top will just take it slow. They're like, okay, we'll push through bot. We'll force you away. We don't have to take the fight. They're still going to look for On, but with Redemption coming out, Kanavi still trying to club him. We'll take him. Chain of Corruption down as well onto Shadow. Goes in with the season that says Knight looking for the damage, but Kanavi's too healthy to do anything about it. and they're just methodical. They'll force you off, they'll take the towers, they'll look for the inhibs, and BLG can't find a way back in.
Yeah, BLG just simply don't have the damage in a lot of these skirmishes to really even threaten them whatsoever. With the Mountain Soul Shield, with all of their gold lead, they are looking to end the game and tie us up right here.
The LPL Finals went all 5. Top Esports and BLG looking to make it go all 3 here. One win between either of them and that quarterfinal spot for Top Esports. They just need to take down this Nexus. BLG trying to defend. Elk using that ricochet. On goes in with a double pulverize, but the tower's almost fallen. No Nexus towers left alive. Bin, Ruthless Predator, won't find the stun. On forced away. BLG forced away. And Top Esports will force us to a game 3.
A beautiful bounce back here from TES. Bin, though, of course, does get his choice of the counter. Jax is his iconic pick. It is the matchup that I definitely think can outscale and eventually start to win out against that Mordekaiser. But I also he's level 6.
Slap his way in as well. As you say, Elk not yet level 6. Doesn't have that Feather Storm. Kanavi's going to cut the wave. Cream wants to call in a bit of assistance. Has Mom on the end of a telephone. Meanwhile, Knight moving across with that Hero's Entrance. Drake secure for base 1. Now Top Esports know they have a man advantage, a numbers advantage. Here's the Hero's Entrance. Supreme Displays talent flashed away by Elk, and Hung is hung out to dry underneath the tower. Good double taunt as well. They'll look for Kanavi next. He's down. Knight makes them kneel, but the turnaround from Cream is huge. On jumps in the Gleaming Quill. Elk will fall. Cream takes a tower shot. The Wings of War not enough to blow him over.
And I just kind of am shocked that TES fully committed to it.
Top Esports now with 5 players up towards this Grubs. Top Esports got one. Bin jumps in with the counter-strike, does get the stun onto Hong. On down to half HP, flash away from Bin. Death Grip onto base 1. They're going to be able to get a kill at the feet of Strength. Warfare, in fact, goes over to BLG. They look for the Grub as well. In the end, a 2-for-1 exchange in the Grubs. Top Esports.
You didn't misspeak.
It's true, it's true. That Rocket Belt, a possibility. Kanavi, oh, good route, but base 1 going in with the Cyclone. There's the Hero's Entrance. Supreme Display of talent, and the flash used by Kanavi to get away. But Cream, the next target. Cyclone secondary going to get the knockout. Wins of War, not enough again.
And that is going to put them on a 2-0 Dragon lead here, which is starting to feel a little bit like game 1, you know, when you're starting to think back. It's been a lot about these Dragon stacking games, you know, control, forcing your opponents to take these fights that they're not necessarily ready for. And they're going to see if second try works better here against Bin.
Yeah, no teleports to support Bin here. On does have the quickness, and he's on his way across. Kanavi caught out. There's the counter-strike. Solar Flare. On coming in, gets the quickness down, but Bin's already dead. Hung has to flash away. Meanwhile, underneath the tower, 369 is chasing on out. Obliterates him. Jackie with the flash auto's enough. It's 2-0 for TS.
Nicely done there by TES. This time they make it work, and not only do they kill Bin, they're going to deny a lot of CS. They're going to knock down this tower very likely as well. Try to play for this first turret. They kill off on. Elk can't even get there. So a lot of resources committed to this side. You can see Cream playing very defensive down on the bot side. Knows engage. So if you're just fishing with that Leona ult, and you can just be able to have cleanse on your Xayah plus that Gales.
The quickness follow-up. Supreme Display Talent coming out with the counter-strike from Bin is enough to get 1. They'll look for Hung as the second. Knight teleports in. Hung falls 2 quick kills for BLG.
I'm really favoring their position here once again. I feel like they're in a good spot. Beats is going to be a decent amount of combat power. They're going to get the Herald, which is likely going to result in a tower. But Cream is getting farmed here, just continuing to try to scale up. 163 stacks right now. Bin going to be looking for him, though.
Triforce. Cream does have the flash and has that flap. Counter-strike out. Cream's going to get stunned. Grandmaster's might coming. Where you going, Cream? Back to your teammate. Mom there for a bit of a heal, but Bin slapping him as he gets the solo kill. 369 here to join Elk, trying to bolster the defenses of Bin as they get another Counter-strike down. On dashing around. Bin knows he's going to die. He's in the Death Realm, and 369 will hit him across the face with a mace to even it out. That will even out a bit of this gold deficit that BLG found themselves in. Is down to 1K.
All 5 down here. So TES needs to get something because Bin is going to be the inevitable problem. There's no TP, so no one can answer Bin.
On gets the flank onto Cream here. Elk looking for the damage. Death Grip not going to connect. Solar Flare down, lands the stun onto On, but Rakan not really the target that you want. He still has the quickness. Meanwhile, Top Esports continue to push in for the tier 1 on the bot side. Redemption being used. Supreme Display Talent does catch onto Elk, but he cleanses and Featherstorms away. The charm from On under the tower means absolute destruction for BLG. They find 2. They land a taunt on 369 as well. The tower still stands, but 369 tanks it up. in the end. A 3-for-2 exchange, but Bin continues to push in a side lane.
Yeah, Bin wasn't even there. It was a 5v3 for a while, and then the Wukong arrives. It's still a 4v5. Meanwhile, Bin is just getting so much gold up on that top side. TS, you really don't want to give up Soul Point here.
Yeah, you got to try and fight it, but Bin comes in with a counter-strike. Now 369, isolated. Kanavi's going to try and jump across this wall, puts down the control wall for a little bit of vision, but On goes in with the grand entrance, looking for that knock-up, hits the Gleaming Quill. Kanavi jumps in, Kanavi gets it, steals it, pays for it with his life, but he delays the soul. And
ready, so that big playmaking tool, now all of a sudden, Beishwan or Bin throw themselves in the back line. Galio comes over the top.
Now pull it up towards this top side. Cream standing on that front line. Has hit 224, needs one more. Gets it with 225, now has that burn. The Articon down to 3,000, On looking for the quickness, doesn't land it on anyone. Has to dive onto 369, the Hero's Entrance coming out as Kanavi secures the Articon. 369 standing in the middle of them all. Elk with a Feather Storm, trying to pull back with the Blade Caller. Beishwan almost down, 369 falls first, but Cream is flapping his way onto the backline, has to flash away. Bin dives forward with a flash of his own into the pit, but Top Esports are coming out on top. In the end though, Bin finds Cream, now it's all on Jackie. The bot lane's the only ones alive.
No reason to try to contest this, but Bin is still sitting in a dangerous position, and maybe they're going to try to look for something afterwards. Bin positioning to try to maybe catch Cream as he does walk down.
I like it because you also have Beishwan coming in from the top side here. There's the TP, they go into Cream. Cyclone down, Bin can't get in range for the counter-strike. Cream's going to flap his way across the wall. Supreme display of talent, doesn't find anyone. Mom's going to heal him up, now it's outfits as Cream up towards the top side. 369 on Beishwan in the Death Realm. Will get him, El's going to get one for one exchange so far as Bin dives onto the backline. Hung trying to retreat from Knight, but 369's there to help him out. Knight's going to flash into the pit. Kanavi caught out by Bin and On, no range for them, but the counter-strike just short. Kanavi, can he escape? Knight has that flank. His team has given up the ghost on him. He tries to dive onto Elk, but for it, he just One's going to get caught up towards the top side, dashes away, has that Gleaming Quill, TP in, as well as Bin goes in for the counter strike. He lands it onto Kanavi. Supreme Decided Talent's going to get him stunned. The Cyclone from Beishwan. Jackie Lert's already killed off On. And Top Esports just immediately turn it around. Beishwan trying to swing around with a Cyclone, but it's a Tempest for BLG. Now 2 for 2. Elk on the back foot. Knight gets caught in the Justice Punch. Elk flashes, finds the root, finds the Feather Storm. Jackie answers. Jackie flashes in. Jackie Love.
Free firing. And from here, it looks like it is absolutely cooked for BLG until Elk finds an incredible fight, knocking down multiple members, and then here on the side.
And Kanavi have it. I'm not sure if 369, yes he did, came up in time to take it too. Now with the Red Bull Baron power play too does work. You have a Cyclone, you counter-strike, Hero's Entrance, quickness, you have all of these tools, but Top Esports' ability to split, ability to scatter when that engage comes out, has been sublime so far.
And I have to give so much credit to Kanavi, 369, and Hong, who are making that job so hard. They're saying, yeah, you want to engage? I am walking into you. I am hitting you as you are trying to get close to my carries. You cannot just walk up for free and flash on them. You will take damage. You will get punished. And if you try to go for that engage and you fail, even just by a pixel, Cream and Jackie will make you pay for it. They are just destroying them at this point, as the third item is through for both of them. Now that rapid fire I talked about is there. The game is 10 times easier to play, it feels like, as Smolder. Once you have that third item, you get the rapid fire, you are just
dodge and dip around the fight. And now they will be on Soul.
They played 100 Thieves, Fnatic, G2, and then VKS.
Yeah.
People would think that is easily 3 wins and you're out.
Beishwan goes in, Hung the target, Hero's Entrance coming out, Hung was already going to flash away, Cream trying to put the damage down, On tries to get in with the engage, Solar Player cleansed away by Elk, but look at how low BLG already are. Elk is going to be able to retreat for now. Top Esports continue to push in. 369 looks for the flash death grip, doesn't get it through the decoy. Top Esports on the advance.
Yeah, 369 short change to E there, misposition on his cursor, so it didn't actually fully extend, but it doesn't matter. They take the tier 2, they're going to crack the inhibitor towers here. You can see assist pings are deep. They're going to try to look for a TP play here. Bin's trying to find an angle.
Notice Hung doesn't have the TP, the flash. Counter-strike out, Bin gets exhausted immediately. Knight looks for that flank. Bin with a stopwatch, On going in, grand entrance. Meanwhile on the top side, 369 the target for Elk. Hung's already down, Bin looking for a re-engage, dives in onto Jackie Love, that's 2! Bin's doing it, Knight flashes away, but Kanavi dives in. On with a battle dance, the counter-strike from Bin will get 1! 369 down, it's a triple for Bin! He's looking for more! Make it 4 for BLG!
This many threats, but look at BLG. threatening a potential flank. If TS move up here, they might just go.
The strike, they dive in immediately. Heroes Engines coming out as well. Kanavi able to flash away with the supreme display of talent. 369 on that front line, catches out Base One. He's putting the Cyclone. Jackie Love trying to Gatling gun through Base One, and he'll find him. Bin jumps back in on there with the quickness. He gets two with the grand entrance. Hung trying to escape. The dive in from Bin again as he chases them down. Counter strike out, only finds the Leona stunned up, and he's going to dive further forward. Mikhail's, Sonya's, can Bin jump out? He dives back in somehow. The counter strike enough to keep him alive through the orders, and the Gatling gun Knight's going to retreat. Top Esports engulf their opponents, but BLG have been so good at stepping back, and once again, Beishuan is looking for that flank position. The Cloud Drake begun by Top Esports. Beishuan looks for the Cyclone. It's a category 5, and he's knocked into the wall. The Drake secured Soul, but Top Esports, they begin to retreat. Mom comes down, Cream finds one. Beishuan going out, and Elk has been slain. It's hunting season for Cream. He finds two. Jackie adds another. Top Esports find the fight, and they'll march down the bot lane.
Beishuan looked for the engage, but Kanavi instantly denies it, stuns him into the wall, and seals their fate. Top have done it.
Top won't go through the bottom lane. They'll go through the LPL champions. They'll go through to the quarterfinals. Top by name, top by nature. In the battle of the LPL, TES rises victorious and makes it to quarters.
What is me here? Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, I don't think you've got the setup, and the way that your team fights want to play are fairly easy front to back, but Owner maybe feeling himself here today.
Confidence. Kiana going to be picked up here, but can just go for a steal here. Goes over, never mind, he's waiting over the wall. Observer's highlighting it beautifully, Owner. Likely going to have to flash here. Lock was there, might not get the chance. Doesn't even try to get over the big wall. MKOI with first blood. Prio paying off. Of course, for now, T1 have an advantage of their own, and JoJo's pretty far up. Waterblade ready to go for Owner. JoJo continuing to step into Faker, but he just does not have any health. Phase rush, he's going to get him out for an extra second, but Owner just finishes the kill off.
Having him burn his flash in these early stages, and the individual laning phases, small wins for T1.
Going in, immediate knockup, but it's not going to stop the pushback from the Emperor's Divide. JoJo Pune running, but Owner happy to grab another carry on the way as well. Instead, going to turn it.
You have Doran burning that flash on the top side. You have Guma, Yush, and Keria winning out on bottom lane thanks to their aggression as well, and you can see that CS lead opening. I don't think you can really contest this as Owner. May just try and sneak one with the smite.
Level 4 for Alvaro. Throws the Gleaming Quill, so has been spotted. Owner not concerned whatsoever, knowing that Elyoya is on the grubs. I think MKOI should just be happy getting 2. That is a smite from Elyoya. No real reason to fistfight here. You don't have control in the mid lane. JoJo gonna move up because it's an even wave. Elyoya continuing to step up. It's only carry at level 5. When becomes lightning, Guma marked. Won't be charging in. Owner just wants to take this one. He has smite. Should be no way they can stop him, but Owner doesn't want to risk going down for it. So 3 grubs, well played from down, and really deny a lot of that effective sustain as TP coming in on the bottom side. Mirwen locking up Gumayushi, immediately taking him into the death realm, but he just quickly walks back, uses the power of the ultimate, and the 1v1, the Q flash forward. Gumayushi may have overstayed as well. He's about to get taken out. Mirwen knows he has that one in the bag. Carrier now running out to safety. Extra movement speed coming in. That's the power of the spellbook Ghost. T1 caught a bit of sleep at the wheel. Risky proposition for Guma. Might have been a bit of a caster curse, honestly. Hyped him up just for him to get 1v1'd.
But he's not used to running TP, you know, so not exactly in the best of spots. Scary.
Now sprinting out. Flashing as well. Finally going to use the Unbreakable. This man is determined to live. Has a taxied off of Elyoya, but no one else is coming. They're going to use the Shockwave as well. Keria will eventually fall. Surely Keria will... Okay, Keria has fallen. All is okay. Sorry, the EU fan came out in me for a second there. I gotta put him down. Put him in the back of the box.
Look, I understand. You've been hurt before, but he is dead. The cat was in the ground, and it does mean Dragon will also go and follow. But you're giving that kill to JoJo Pune as well, helping to accelerate the Orianna. So overall, it's nice from MKOI, and a big punishment of Gumayushi's TP and the overextension to try and save him afterwards.
Definitely. And for a team with a Lethality Varus and an Azir, you would have loved to be the person getting this second Drake when you've already gotten the first, to start stacking those Drakes to guarantee a fight where MKOI at some point are going to have to fight into you. Instead, unfortunately, a bit of a flub from the bot lane of T1. Mirwen looking to rinse and repeat here. Pullback does connect onto Guma. Do they want to keep the dive going? They don't even need to go that deep. Just obliterates him. Keria gonna get taken out. Well, they know he has no unbreakable will. On the bottom side, though, try to deny some CS, try to get some plates. So MKOI recognize They're down a man. They don't want to commit the TP. Immediate exhaust on the carry. A 2-man knockup with the pulverize. Good damage. Down, forced to use the unbreakable will, but he's so low. Supa pushes for a bit more, and it's the big one to get it done. Redemption coming in the mid lane. It's going to heal up the minion as well. Keep the push onto this tower going, and Elyoyo wants Guma. MKOI are bloodthirsty and fearless in the mid lane. Faker trying to respond with a push in the meantime, but it's MKOI with a massive lead.
These mid lane collapses are working for MKOI. They're getting the kills, they're getting some waves, but again, they are dropping one wave on top on that tower to Faker in the top side of the map. But overall, like, mid-tower for top tower, get the kills. Kiana, she has to be on the bottom side, but Jojo
finding out firsthand exactly where Carry is. Lockdown coming in. Q-Flash goes in forward for Dorn. Pushback coming through on the Pathmaker. Pulls him out of the Redemption. Knocks him down. Owner picks up the... Mirwin lingers a bit in the darkness. Debates if there's an angle. Thinks better of it as there's a bit of prio in the mid lane. Some minions denied and likely the tier 2 to fall. Supa making good use of that Trinity Force power spike. The Spellblade damage to the follow up, obviously. Earthblade going to do a lot of damage when he gets the next reset on cooldowns. So Mirwin zoned away, but it's just a split map. MKOI getting a tower on the top side. T1 likely to finish off this tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and for T1, this is kind of what you want in a split map scenario, being able to match a lot of these plays and keep within touching distance in the goal. You do end up scaling exceptionally well with the Azir and this Varus as the game starts to go on, but I think for...
Does have access to the Redemption, but instead is just going to opt to reset. Herald used in the bottom lane as Owner finds Supa. Face first, pushes him back to the wall, immediately CC'd. Flash forward with the Shockwave! Excellent teamwork, but Owner's still going to be able to find his way out. Now Guma's moving in. Ulti is going to connect, but it's Elyoyo who body blocks. Elyoyo with the Crescent Guard, but the snipe from Guma! Dead center right between the eyes to find the double as MKOI are now on the retreat. On a damn good deal for T1. Supa powerful individually in terms of what he could do in a fight. What he did do in the end, nothing.
When it came towards the objective setup and how to play the map, T1 just ever so slightly ahead. Now MKOI tries to even brute force their way in through the mid lane. Faker is separated.
Charm is there. Lock up on Owner, but he goes invisible for a brief moment. Now he's pulled him to the death realm up against Mir when ulti is really going to do nothing, but Owner's still able to retreat for now. Alvaro taken down. Owner coming over the wall, going to pop out in a brief moment. Wants to get the grass blade, doesn't have time. That's the shutdown, but it should be Supa uncontested. Instead it's Carrier coming in with the pulverize, and now it's Elyoyo versus the world. He goes into the Faker, but there's too many people. There's not enough sky to sunder. There's nothing left to guard. Jojo wants to make the difference, but Guma grabs it. 3-man Shockwave. He just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the items. Jojo keeps him low, but Doran wants to keep going. Q3 ready to pop. Pull through on the all-out. Looking for the Pathmaker to confirm. Tries to predict Jojo, and it just doesn't work. Doran looks like he's about to fall. Nice sidestep on Guma's Q, but Doran just barely able to walk away.
It's the Canadian mid laner trying his best, but it's Faker who's better and snipes him out.
I don't even know if that was
Owner as he comes out. Jojo has been completely isolated. Now Alvaro is in the same boat.
Alvaro caught, will just get taken out there. Important to highlight in the fight, Doran perfectly calculating the Pathmaker, the Cassante W, to catch Mirwin as the Death Realm faded. Shadow Flame, the Verdant Barrier. 10 stacks, he hasn't even upgraded to the book yet, but honestly, he probably could. That is a terrifying Azir. MKOI, I think, in a weird way.
Kiana. Have you never listened to her voice lines? She is very pumped.
Yeah. Pumped up. Guma potentially caught out. Alvaro not able to hit the charm. Only connects on the carrier. Redemption going in. Q flash from Mirwin. Redemption response from T1. This is a bit of an awkward start. Mirwin losing a ton of health. Pulls carrier into the Death Realm. And now it's Doran into the backside. 4 members strong from MKOI. Slowly working through the health bars, but down goes Mirwin. Doran only losing about 60% HP.
Face checking is not fun.
No, it's not. Supa losing about 20% HP just for walking in. TP in for Doran, solo zoning Supa, gonna ult him back through the wall. It's gonna take all of MKOI to turn. Doran now trying to retreat back into the waiting arms of his team. In the meantime, the Baron has been taken out. Faker and
Shadow Flame, but even then, oh, hang on, Alvaro
on the flank. Nice backstep from Faker. Able to get a bit of CC down. Shockwave going in, but it's really not doing the damage they need. That's the supreme display of talent. I said I'd say ultimate, but I didn't. I couldn't help myself. MKOI getting the objective bounty. In the meantime, looks like the tower did fall in the bottom lane. But they're just being zoned off, pushed away. May come down to the 50-50 steal if Elyoyo wants to poke his head in.
Nah, I think it's done for. This is what I was about to say, was the fact that you don't really have that damage on Jojo, and that Banshee's Veil on Faker just makes him so difficult to lock down.
Now, Owner sprinting through the jungle. Alvaro goes over the wall, but there's just members of T1 around every corner ready to lock him down. Supa really does not do enough damage to Doran. He's able to zone him away. Hex flash over the wall. Alvaro locked up and interrupted. Owner trying to one-pop him, but Alvaro lives for an extra second. Nice shockwave, but really only connecting onto Carrier. With that major cooldown down, it makes it so easy for Faker to step up, for Guma to step up. Big chunks coming through from the Varus Qs. The piercing arrows connecting. And T1, now that they have the Baron, now that they have access to the bottom lane, will they just go for the throat, or are they going to take their time? Doran unstoppable for a moment. The siege just continues from T1. No real way for MKOI to answer for now.
Yeah, the Gatling gun, sure. TP back out onto the map on both top and bot, or top and mid, but is this something?
TP? Faker feels good because he has a death cap, and oh god, he wants to use it! Redemption going in! That looks completely insane, but my man, did he do the math?
That was a display of talent. That was some damage from Faker on that play. MKOI kicked to the curb after that.
The brief moment where they thought they might do something. Oh, Faker's just going to kill everybody by himself. All right. We've learned that the best player of all time's most played champion might be worth taking away. We might have learned it before. Other teams might have learned it before, but MKOI relearning this particular lesson.
Very happy that Fearless exists in this series if you're MKOI, because you do not want to go up against that again. As T1 was siege down the Nexus turrets. The waves aren't here, but the poke can be.
Yep. Guma just continues to free fire. One wave coming in on the top side, likely the end here. MKOI some good looks in that mid game, some good picks, some good angles on a T1's bottom line. As Alvaro gets things kicked off on the Faker. Nice initial bit of damage, but he comes out relatively unscathed. A lot of cooldowns missing. Redemption to get the health bars back up. Alvaro needs to backstep. Big damage. Doran going unstoppable for a moment. Q3 pulls him back through. Elio in the midst of everything, but Doran getting lower. The tower not quite enough. Supreme delay. Talent coming in. Owner still standing for an extra second. I think they've overstayed a bit, but it just doesn't matter because they're not hitting Faker, and he's got more than enough damage to finish the job. The super minions are here too. It is long, it is drawn out, it is only getting more difficult, but Doran remains standing, T1 remains standing. They've only lost Carrier. The Nexus exposed.
The defender's advantage is not really looking like an advantage.
Finally gonna end the game, Rob. They took their sweet time. They wanted a couple extra kills. The icing on top of this game one cake. Faker looking for another, the double to finish it. T1 coming in, but doesn't have the range safety of something like a Jinx or even, honestly, the Azir that we saw last game. So what will the final option be here? It's Vayne. Okay.
Okay.
And you know, I honestly, you have to respect it.
Ward to spot it exactly what Elio and Alvaro up to, because this is what I was talking about. Like, this duo of both Braum and Trundle incredibly strong on the invade if they can start getting some of those auto attacks down.
Supa has recognized that fist fighting is the solution. Who's going to get it? That's the third stack. Knockback on Guma. Flash forward auto in the 1v1. Supa comes out on top.
The Vayne dueling power is so strong, and even with the barrier, Gumayushi isn't able to match Supa early first blood for MKOI.
And again, that's part of the reason why we've seen this matchup before. In the 5v5, Sivir can be a powerhouse, but in the 1v1, Vayne so strong here early on. MKOI now looking to keep that advantage going, but it looks like T1 may have caught them out. Double knockup coming in for Doran. Owner now on the chase. Elio needs to get the hell out. Mirwan not doing much to interrupt. Double flashes. Elio trying to get fancy with the footwork, but it's not nearly enough. Concussive blows continuing to stack, but Mirwan now needs to leave as well. Flash over the wall to Sage, but Carry immediately falls with the Zenith Blade. Now it's Alvaro knocked up. The solo on the top side immediately counteracted by T1 in the bottom lane.
This is where Wukong becomes terrifying in some of these fights, especially as he gets towards that Triforce.
Yeah, Triforce, we've seen it.
Alongside Supa being in a decent spot, so at least for MKOI, they've kind of got those two parts of the map they can play through. Whereas for T1, again, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you just see a ton of pressure now towards Faker and Jojo Pyun. Try and do a similar story of what we saw in the last game. Burn flashes on Jojo, rinse and repeat over and over, and just make this Cassio incredibly uncomfortable.
Definitely a solid option as Doran gets a little tricky with the tunnels there. Luckily does not take a tower shot, but now it's Owner coming in behind. Mirwan, of course, has the ulti available. Public execution back into Owner, trying to get tricky with it. Bit of a sidestep there. The Sundering Strike ready to come through, but he just has no time to press the button. Two spins coming in, but Mirwan! He gets a kill back onto Doran! A catastrophic miscalculation!
That's the second time T1 have tried to dive an Abessa this weekend, and it's the second time it's backfired.
Supa caught out briefly, cleanses, goes invisible with the final hour, but he's hitting the wrong target. Guma immediately using on the hunt. Supa now debating if he can chase, but that's the heal coming up for Carry. It takes over to level 6 just in time, and there's no cleanse this time around! Alvaro comes in to try to body block. Flash over from Supa into the bush. Guma not afraid to flash forward, but now showing space versus Elyoya. Concussive blow stacking. 3. Alvaro desperate for the 4th, but it's Faker coming in from behind. Jojo also on the way, but he's just too far away. Alvaro locked up. The hubris of Supa once again punished.
It feels like this balance of powers where
Supa still not able to complete that Blade of the Rune King carry, and now ghosting it, looking for the lockup onto Supa. Supa no cleanse available, going invisible courtesy of the final hour. Now wants to get the hell out, but there's Owner to start spinning. Supa taken down, Owner on a killing spree.
It's everyone on T1 focusing on Supa, making sure this Vayne cannot get ahead. The ghost from Keria puts him into the perfect position, and even if he doesn't get some of the stuns, just buys the time to Keria.
Just be careful, pillar down, force to flash. Smite for a bit of extra slow. Ulti already down as well from Elyoya. That's one tanky trundle. Carrier going to fall. Elyoya still a powerhouse. Owner getting locked up. 2 stacks because of blow, and he uses the clone to escape.
He's going to be happy to take away some of these plates on the top end of the map. In return, T1 going to be getting that dragon, so looking for these trades. But again, T1 kind of playing around. Oh, hang on.
Doran. Potentially a little bit overconfident. Slowed up. He's just going to get taken out. I think thought that he could get a bit more. The rest of the team is on the way. Faker is here. Nope, he's...
The Rek'Sai license.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it top 8, but did you get the Rek'Sai license? I'm not so convinced. It's Faker doing a good job of trading here. Nice sidestep on the Noxious Blast. Jojo needs to get out. Hasn't hit the Noxious Blast, so doesn't really have the movement speed. Conqueror procs. Faker happy with just the flash. Elyoya moving in. The pillar's going to be big here. Nice initial lock up on Supa as he tries to step back. Alvaro doesn't have the Unbreakable quite yet, and they're starting the retreat. Owner getting good chip damage down to Elyoya. The flash still keeping Elyoya alive. Keep your eyes on that Realm Orb. Hand delivered, but he's already been stunned. Owner locked in for a moment. Wants to turn on to Elyoya. Tries to finish off Supa, but down he goes. Doran arriving just in the nick of time. It's the double knockup. Guma goes over the wall, and he's looking to clean up house. Mirwin's still standing, but he doesn't have the ultimate because of the play.
Using minions, bot, and the TP from T1 to contest.
Full 5v5. Hex flash over the wall from Keria. Solar Flare available. The Cyclone as well. Alvaro with the blinking health bar is going to be forced to retreat. Does have access to the redemption, so it'll just be the Herald conceded. Are they going to spot him? Not quite. T1 happy to have the objective, and MKOI slowly losing advantage across the map.
Rift Herald put down immediately. The cavalry from MKOI is here, but T1 are here en masse, and this tower will fall with little MKOI can do.
Mirwin starting to kick a fight off, though. Ulti forced out from Owner. That's the redemption coming forward. He's going to mount up back into the Herald, looking for the triple knockup. Starting to drive through the entire team. Alvaro on the back line. Owner's just hitting everybody. MKOI.
T1 again, starting to push these advantages as we crest the 15-minute mark.
And we've perhaps recognized a problem with the man in the mid lane. Now 2-0. This is what we've decided. He doesn't probably need any more, but just in case you forgot.
This is the first international event I got to this year. I gotta it's a full year of Faker praise saved up. Yeah.
Fair. He wasn't even at the first one, so I respect that you were saving it for first stand too. T1 going to grab their 3rd Drake of the game. MKOI not feeling like they're in a comfortable spot to contest. And you can see why, right? Steadily falling behind. 1.5k.
Careful and methodical now on their wave states and setting up the map in their favor.
They have better push, right? And now they have the advantage in terms of overall.
Means he is just starting to drift further behind, and Gwinsu's Rage Blade is a big item spike, but we don't get there.
Exhaust onto Elyoya, locked up, all the CC leverage. Alvaro looking for the disengage, Doran's off to the side, has been caught by the Condemned. Guma flashing backwards, already used the spell shield. It's Mirwin in the midst of the entire team. Fall with the Petrifying Gaze. Supa still untouched for now. Slowly they're chipping through the health bars, and Doran's about to fall. That's the Silver Bolts proccing. Blinking health bars across all of MKOI as they start to retreat. Guma, Faker, still alive. The Realm Warp available. T1, do they want to chase?
Public execution of Mirwin, he's going!
We're going to go back on Guma. Guma with a perfect spell shield, looking for the follow-up as well. Still standing for a moment, but Elyoya goes right in, looking to chop a bite out of Guma. Supa gets the kill, but Faker untouched for now. Again, MKOI playing on the edge. Owner about to be hand-delivered. Elyoya looking for the angle with the pillar. Extra movement speed for Jojo, he's not going to be able to escape. They turn back onto Owner. MKOI still standing.
Faker, resources well allocated here. As Adakan just going to go down because they're trading this for Dragon.
MKOI presumably know this is happening as they set up around the Drake, just don't want to give up. MKOI buy themselves a few more minutes. You talked about it before, 3 items, 2 items. Maybe they feel like they just need a bit more time, and this does give them time to push in. The price of admission for them even to group here is going to be a wave of minions. They fail here, they'll only be even further behind. They're betting it all on this play. That's the Solar Flare, but no immediate follow-up. Lock up onto Jojo Puna is good. Doran going in as well. Jojo Puna flashing forward. They're looking to take out Guma in the midst of the entire fight, but another knockup coming in just in time to keep Guma standing. Mirwin taking him down and moving back out of the fight in the midst. It's the owner taken out as well. T1 ready to come in with the Realm Warp, ready to turn it back. MKOI though, still 3 members strong. Doran debating, where does he go? What is the angle for this fight?
Supa's lost the ultimate though. He's now way more vulnerable in this fight, and Doran wants to go for it. No flash available for him though.
Elyoya and Alvaro need to protect Supa. So much damage could come out of this vein, but if a single piece of CC connects, there's likely little they can do to stop any further damage. Heal comes in from Alvaro. Objective getting lower. Knockup coming in from Doran. That's Alvaro taking out of the equation, and Faker's now on the hunt looking to zone Supa out as well. Elyoya needs to take away the dragon, needs to deny the soul, and he will do so. Still standing for a damn long time, but not enough to turn the fight. Faker, Doran, Carrier, too strong. MKOI might get the objective, but they lose just about it. Step up. MKOI after that last fight don't feel confident to contest. T1 taking the Baron at 29 minutes.
And Dracos, he talked about the short range already on T1. Having this is a huge buff.
Public execution, it looks like they want to get some exit kills in the meantime. Locking up Owner, looking to take him down. Faker and Gumayushi on the way in, but the redemption already used. No other summoner spells. So will just be the single pick that will slow down this Baron, but MKOI know that they need to play for more. They can't afford to let T1 choke them out.
The Rilay's onto Faker though, the slow, nearly enough to keep him in place, but that will slow down this.
MKOI overcommit here. Elyoya walk face first into Guma. Lockup is there. Ulti connects from Alvaro. Nice petrifying gaze to kick things off, and down they go. MKOI with one more fast play. One more pick, but this time they want the full fight. It's Doran splitting off. In the meantime, MKOI immediately turned back. That's to get them right back into the wall. Lockup for the concussive blows, but the tunnel's keeping Doran standing. All of T1 immediately retreat. They want nothing to do with this. Doran will be sacrificed. T1 punished.
Flashless Guma
as well, taunting, threatening. Trying to distract the members of MKOI. Flash forward from Jojo, completely whiffs. Owner immediately turns right back. Alvaro tries to find the disengage. Lockup on Guma does not come through. Mirwan cannot find the angle. Supa still standing for now. Knock back into the wall is good, but Owner wants to take down the bait. He doesn't quite have the damage. Supa still standing, but the rest of MKOI are starting to fall. He splits back into Mirwan. Tumble back into the back line. Knock up from Doran. One more ferocious bite, but the Gadem says not today. Supa standing, but here comes Faker.
Faker finishes off Supa and holds the game for T1 in his hands. It looked like Supa might have been able to hold it, but now with the Dragon Soul in T1's favor, what looked like desperation in the fight may just crumble before them.
Control ward in the pit though. MKOI didn't take it away, so it means T1 know that they have the time to play slow, to ease into this. Faker flashing forward, trying to get more out of Jojapun. Jojapun taking his time. The petrifying gaze only going to connect onto Owner. Immediate exhaust to follow up. Doran looking for the knockup as well. And just now, Supa's finally able to join the fight. The Realm Warp going to bring only a few minions in, but that's a clutch pick for T1.
MKOI separated as they try to contest the mid wave while keeping their approach on Baron free. And T1 pounce. That was exactly what they needed in the moment. And just like that, T1 are getting objective after objective.
Just that bit of difference. They burned so many cooldowns in the setup, but once they get that pick, full confidence to send it on the objective. T1 on the precipice of taking the series. MKOI, the cusp of elimination. Have to hold the line.
Doran very quickly making his way through that middle turret. The demolish doing work as T1 just letting the minions do the work for them on the bottom lane. There is no one that can really approach these waves, and that wave clear is abysmal on MKOI's side.
That it is. Everyone trying to contest Doran, but again, the tunnels are set up. He's not even going to use it if he doesn't have to. Another inhibitor tower falling, likely 2 inhibitors to follow.
There is a wave amassing on the top side. MKOI Worlds starting to sneak away from them as T1 continue to put a stranglehold on this game.
Supa walking up stun initially onto Owner, does still have access to the GA. Double ultis, both supports trading.
To find one fight that can fall into another, that can maybe get that domino going in their favor.
Once more into the abyss, once more from Movistar Koi. Owner locked up for a brief moment, on the hunt used. MKOI retreating back to the river, but unbreakable down for Alvaro already. Elyoya isolated. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super minions in the bases. MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, and he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Carrier there as well. Rise with the Realm Warp. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirwan doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for Jojapun. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirwan, Jojapun, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8.
at Worlds 2025, MKOI are sent packing.
3 bowls on stage right now. The teams are grouped together in the bowls consisting of their record. The first bowl is the 2 teams that went 3-0. The second is the teams that went 3-2. And the final one has the teams that finished with a score of 3-1. Of course, the 3-0 team should be on different sides of the bracket, so the first draw we will see is to put those teams on either side of the bracket. Important to know is that the first matchups that will be drawn for 3-0 will be out of the pool of the 3-2 teams. Then whatever team is left from the 3-2 pool will be put in a randomized draw with all of the 3-1 teams, and we'll get our final 2 matchups from there. That is all the info. Any hopes and dreams?
I'll
let you take this one, Emily.
I know. I'm sitting here looking at KT being a 3-0 team, thinking about how
we knew that.
a 3-0 team has never made it to grand finals. I don't think so.
Why?
Just being like,
It's
okay.
fine. This is just a normal KT fan experience.
Yeah, okay.
But here we go. L, it's AL first.
Anyone's legend.
Anyone's legend from the LPL. It's shaping up to be the hope of the LPL.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did look like the most solid and stable team, right? When I think of AL as a team overall, I'm more curious to see, as we see, there we go, KT drawn into the other side of the bracket. They are a team who kind of like always punched above their weight due to their coordination, due to their drafting, and I still don't think we've seen that strength yet, so I'm really curious to see their opponents.
And now for the opponents, we'll start, of course, with the first team that was drawn going up against CFO, TES, or T1.
There's a 1 in 3.
Here it goes. There's a TES team in there for
1 in 3 chance to get another LPL team kill.
I know everybody here really does not want that team kill, so it's a tie. What do you have for us? Is it going to be upside down? Is it going to be up straight? What is it going to be? T1! Oh my God, what a phenomenal LPL versus LCK battle.
In quarters!
In quarters! Immediately to see if that magic against the LPL from T1 is still working.
Get him, TES!
Here we go. KT's opponent.
Oh, God.
Who will it be?
Oh!
CFO.
Okay. I did hear, I forget exactly who on CFO said it, but they said, yeah, Honkyu it was, who really wanted to draw KT.
He gets his wish!
He got his wish.
There we go. That means TES is still in that 3-2 pool, and they will go in the rest of the pool with Genji, G2, and HLE, which is pretty darn insane, I have to say. Broken Blade did say he wanted to play Genji, and I'm going to say I don't want them to play Genji.
I think that's the right attitude to have, no matter what. However, having watched a lot of Genji, I do think you're taking a bit of a risk there.
I agree. Yeah. So, of course, the first matchup drawn will go into the AL side of the bracket, and the second in the other. That would be ALT1. So that's a pretty, I think if I have to look at how to compare the 2 halves, that's already shaping up to be pretty intense. So let's see. G2! Here it goes, European friends. You're holding on to your breeches, this is it.
G2 Genji.
Take a deep breath, take a deep breath.
That was the 2020 quarterfinal, if I remember correctly. G2 back then, 3-0, then what's it gonna be?
I don't want to see it, I don't want to see it. Come on, Sty, do something good for us, please. No. TES!
Oh, yeah.
Tonwa Genji!
TES!
So there's a LCK.
No!
Come
on, man!
All right, so we've got HLE versus Genji on the KT side of the bracket, Emily. Are you not too happy? What a phenomenal matchup, though, we're going to be seeing, but it is a team kill for the LCK.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah,
just looks absolutely I'm not happy.
No, I mean, this is a position of luxury, obviously, for me to have that many. Not ideal. But what you're going to do, that's the risk you run when all 4 of your teams make it through. This was, of course, the LCK finals that we had very recently in Incheon.
What an amazing draw. This is great.
Wow.
Honestly, right? So we have ALT1, G2, TS, that side of the bracket.
Oh no, the LPL T1's on the
You know,
side of
there is no way we could get an LPL LCK final. There's no way, right?
Yeah, there is.
They're all in the same side of the bracket. ALT1,
T1.
G2, TS.
Yeah, we got.
I mean, you're saying T1 just raced through LPL teams.
No, I'm saying even if, like this year.